Hello and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 153, where Hearts progressed to the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup with a surprisingly comfortable win in Ayrshire. As ever, I am Daniel McIver, joined by Adam Kennedy. Adam, how you doing? I know, by the way, I know they're not in Ayrshire. I saw your face there. My brain just went, there, that sounds like it's from Ayrshire. I know they're not, but fuck it. You are. How are you?
Yes, temporarily from Ayrshire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm a lot better now knowing that I'm not going to have to fork out for an atlas for your birthday. Glad to see that yeah. I'm glad that you've amended your error. Yeah, good, really good. Really enjoyed the Hearts game on Sunday. Yeah, it's quite a novelty for me to get to Hearts these days. I'm a bit of a part-time prick, but it was
I didn't
yeah, it
want to
was
say it, but if you're saying it, it's fine.
but that was good fun. Really, really good day out. I actually thought that their setup was pretty good. I mean, not Airdrie itself, but the stadium was
Yeah.
quite nice. Looked like a good park. There's lots of away fans, and yeah, a really, really fun day watching my team. What about yourself?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I did think there was issues with turnstiles because there was like two for the entire
Oh,
stand.
I travelled in on the Royal Hearts bus from Pennycook,
Right.
and then see try to get out of the car park like after the game. It's like, Jesus wept. And
Yeah.
one stand for like pies and that for away. Like, what is that all
Oh,
about?
so I didn't end up going because I heard about the queue, but I was there with my dad,
Oh
my
my
brother,
God.
and my dad's mate, and he was away. He left in like the 30th minute. I came back in about the 55th. He waited
Oh,
that long to get everything.
absolute
It was a
disgrace.
nightmare.
I was the exact same. I literally got to the stage where I was like, because I'd obviously had a couple, and I was like, there is no way I am like waiting till such a time to then piss off after it. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm stubborn enough. I've seen this
You've committed.
out. Yeah, fully to the cause. Ended up getting two pies, which were bang average at best, but I saw it
That makes it even funnier, to be honest. It would be
out.
less funny if they were good, but
Thanks, mate.
we'll get to all of that, our experience in Airdrie. But first of all, we're going to go around the grounds because obviously there was all the other games, considering we were last. We were the last game of the
Yes.
round. So the first
Saved the
game of the
best till
round,
last.
exactly. That is actually true, considering the scoreline.
Oh my God. And particularly the Friday night game. Oh my goodness.
So the Friday night game conjured up the only real cup shock, or maybe we'll get to one in a minute that is surprising for the other way. As Greenock Morton ended up not coasting past Motherwell, but with the help of Liam Kelly, getting past
Yes.
Motherwell to progress as the only cup shock. We then move into Saturday. Aberdeen massively struggled to get past the mighty Bonnyrigg Rose at Pittodrie. Hibs saw off Inverness in the Highlands. Kilmarnock very easily saw across Cove Rangers. Maybe the other shock technically is that Livingston progressed over Partick Thistle after extra time. And then Rangers beat Scott Browns, Ayr United, before we get to the Sunday games. Celtic managed to get through in normal time against St Mirren, winning 2-0, and then we'll get to our game. What did you make of all the other games in the Scottish Cup?
Wasn't overly surprised with Morton beating Motherwell. What I was surprised with was how poor Motherwell were.
Mhm.
And there's absolutely no reason why we cannot comfortably beat them this weekend. They were abysmal. Um, I really wish that their fans would stop comparing Liam Kelly to Xander Clark or Craig Gordon for that matter. He's absolutely nowhere near either of them. Um, Two of frankly the worst goals I think I've seen all season in this game, sandwiched by a lovely George Oakley goal.
Yeah,
Um, in terms of other games, surprised that Livingston actually won.
yeah.
Obviously, Davy Martindale's just desperate for cash and has decided to put all his eggs in the Scottish Cup basket. Now he'll get a payday with their draw in the next round. Disappointed that Jamie Carragher left the Highlands. Disappointed as his laddies team were routinely dispatched by Hibernian in the end. Rangers beating Ayr, nobody cares about that. Celtic, yeah, annoying that they got through. Um, trying
And
to
then
think of
you've
other
just
games
got
really.
Aberdeen, Bonnyrigg.
Aberdeen, like yeah, and Killy Cove.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
Killy
they
Cove.
were two absolute certainties, weren't they?
The
So
crazy stat though is that Bonnyrigg Rose had more possession, the same amount of shots, more shots on target, and more corners at Pittodrie than Aberdeen.
Jesus, I mean, I did hear Warnock say that he wasn't overly enamoured by the
Yeah.
performance. Um, we've not got Aberdeen to play again in the league this season, have we? Unless they finish top six. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
could be a bonus. Because that could get football stopped potentially. But yeah, I'm not really blown away by the cup, to be honest.
Ah,
I mean, even Morton beating Motherwell, I tipped it last week, but in extra time rather than in the 90. I just could not believe how poor Motherwell were.
yeah. Cue them getting a big confidence inspiring win when
Oh,
this podcast goes out.
yeah, the second of two Tynecastle victories this season, no
Yeah,
doubt.
exactly. But that then set us up for some reason before our game, the cup draw.
Oh no, I'm gonna retract my statement. This is a great idea. I'm all for this.
Is it
Absolutely all for
is it
this.
purely because it gave us a big confidence boost going into this game?
Two reasons. There is that, and I do believe that had we got a Rangers at Ibrox or Celtic at Parkhead, I do think it would have been a lot more flat. The
Well,
fact
have you
that we could have
seen
set up
that
the tie with Morton.
if the draw had been done after the game, the balls would have been moved about because obviously Airdrie was first, so we would have got
That was
away
going
at
to be my second
Parkhead.
point. That
Yeah,
was going to be my second point. I'm delighted that it took place when it did.
yeah,
Like that is brilliant. Alphabetically, we've just bumped up a couple of places.
yeah,
Catch you after.
yeah.
And now it's set up a tie to a ground that we would. I don't think you or I could ever possibly have been at, given the rarity of it. I
I
think
think the last
with
game
fans,
1992 or something.
something like that. So that'll be good. I love going to Cappielow because I have been. I went in the home end earlier on this season. I was shooting some stuff for my dissertation. So I took in Greenock Morton versus Stranraer in the League Cup, and I was sat there, had a look at the iconic crane to the left-hand side in the backdrop. Magnificent. Love it. Great ground, so I'm buzzing to go and watch Hearts there, given that we couldn't in the Championship season. And yeah, I'm never going to complain about the timing of a draw ever again because that couldn't have worked out any better with
Yeah,
regards to being that second ball and the performance that then ensued from discovering our potential fate.
I think it'll be a nightmare getting tickets because didn't they give Motherwell like 2,000 or something?
Yeah, that might be the only hiccup.
Yeah,
But
but
we'll
fuck it.
we'll try our
Yeah,
damnedest.
we'll try. The rest of the draw was Aberdeen at home to Kilmarnock, Celtic at home to Livingston, and Hibernian at home against Rangers.
Ah, thank you, the footballing gods. For once, they are looking down upon us. Brilliant. That couldn't have gone any better.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's not
Honestly.
true. Celtic could have got Aberdeen. Because
I
then,
mean, uh-huh.
if we got through Rangers and Celtic win as you expect, then we're almost guaranteed to get Europe with third. Because Aberdeen are still
Oh, I see
there.
what you're saying in terms of
Aberdeen
the
is still
yeah,
there,
yeah,
where if they
with the
win the
league
Scottish
placements.
Cup, it takes
Yeah, yeah,
away
yeah.
our group stages. And it would
I
just
was
be
going
the
to say
most us
because
thing ever for Aberdeen to be in the finish ninth, but win the Scottish Cup and get group stage football as a result of it.
I was going to say that like Aberdeen versus Kelly eliminates somebody that could potentially win it.
Hmm.
Celtic and Rangers, like they're two of the biggest buys that they possibly ever could get.
Yeah.
I think the only tie that's really tricky to call, and I can't believe I'm saying this ahead of like this is bound to go wrong. The only one that's really tricky to call is Aberdeen Killie. The rest you'd expect the top three to all get through.
You'd expect, but that's a key word in
Yeah.
that because we exist.
Yeah,
And
well, that's very true. It's been going too well, as
yes,
we'll no doubt come
exactly.
on to.
So we knew ahead of time. I was watching it on everybody's phones as they were waiting for the game that we were going to be playing Morton if we were able to get past Rhys McCabe's Airdrie. So the big call from this game was that Craig Gordon, as many predicted, returned to the starting lineup. Very much seems to be the cup goalie, which is interesting.
Nearly as interesting as the fact that he didn't take back the armband.
But I think that's because didn't Shanklin get officially made captain at the start of this season?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because Gordon was captain against Spartans, but Shanklin didn't play.
I must have missed that. Carry on.
That might not be true.
I don't
I
know.
think at the time when I saw it, I was like, "Well, that's a bit weird," and then said to myself, "Oh no, I think that's already been a thing." But I might be wrong. So if if it is weird,
I'm gonna bow to your superior knowledge, Mr. McIver.
superior is one way of saying it. So we lined up in a 4-2-3-1 as we have been recently. Craig Gordon was in goals, but as I was going to say, the big shock was that Frankie Kent was dropped for the first time this season,
Don't mind
which
it.
raised a lot of eyebrows considering the fact that we were playing on a plastic pitch. Now, I will say, you mentioned it earlier, that
Yeah.
is so clearly the best plastic pitch in the country, I think.
Yeah, it
Stenhouse
was
Muir have a
brilliant.
really good one.
Really
Wraith have a
good.
really good one. See, if that's the quality of plastic pitches, I'd be fine if they were in the top
Yeah.
flight. Not Killy and Livingston's, which are just an
I thought it
apt
was a great
concrete.
surface. I
Yeah, it was
really did.
great. So yeah, lined up with a back four of Cochrane, Kingsley, Halkett, and Lembakisa. Benny and Neuenhoff kept their place as the two, with Kenny Vargas, Alan Forrest, and George Grant in behind Lawrence Shankland. We were obviously speaking to each other via WhatsApp, and we both kind of raised the point of, should we be playing Craig Halkett on this admittedly good plastic pitch?
Yeah, for all I'm singing the Turf's praises, the decision to start Craig Halkett on one of them, I can't fathom. I'm more than happy to give Frankie Kent a rest because he is by far and away our best centre half. That's just an absolute non-negotiable for me now. Nice to see Halkett back. Don't get me wrong, but given the track record, given his injury history, just wonder, was this really necessary?
Yeah, that's very fair.
Because I don't think that it was.
Yeah.
And listen, now it's come out that I don't think he's out for too long, is he? So
Yeah, he went for a scan and they don't think it's as serious as they
right.
perhaps feared.
So that's okay. That like I could take a crumb of comfort from that. But again, like it's just do you deem it enough of a risk to put him in there? Because to me, like did we really need Craig Halkett? Like for the second goal we did, but
Yeah.
aside from that, I think we could have got away with somebody else, Toby Zibic or whoever.
Well, I was just about to mention the other big talking point from the team sheet was that both Kai Rolls and Natty Atkinson were back on the bench. You could have started Kai Rolls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
but then again, if you've just come back from an international tournament and your first game back is Airdrie, I mean, Kai Rolls would be beside himself. I'd be beside myself for him.
Yeah.
Because that come down would hit hard.
Massively.
But hey-ho.
So, moving to the game, and I will be honest, would never speak ill of Heart Midlothian's highlights. However, I feel like they've done a slight disservice to Airdrie because the first highlight is just the goal. However, the opening 6 minutes, Airdrie did get 3 corners and were pushing forward, and they were all on that left-hand side. And we said it last week. You could tell even from that 90 minutes where, yes, listen, they were well beaten. You could tell, though, they're a good championship side and that there's a reason they are where they are, kind of thing.
I'm looking at this in a different way. I think they're a really good footballing side.
Yeah.
I think this was to their detriment against us, though.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I think Morton will actually be a harder challenge because Morton will make it stuffy,
agree.
Physical, and stuff
They'll
like that.
They'll expect us to break them down. Whereas Airdrie were more than happy to have a go and let us have a go. The opening exchanges, it was like a basketball game.
Yeah, it was.
You try and score, we try and score. Even there was an instance in kind of the second half. I know I'm digressing here, but they actually played it out between the two centre halves and the goalkeeper, and I think they tried to play it out to the right back. And I thought, fair play. It'd be very easy to just go, right, well, we're well beaten here. Let's just lump it long and, I don't know, challenge the centre halves, look for knockdowns, try and get in the box. Let's just lump it in there and look to kind of cause problems that way. But they've got a set way of playing. They were rigid. and like they stuck to it. I thought fair play. They've given it a go, and they've just been beaten by a better team. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. I had huge admiration for how they played. Definitely.
Well, that way they played allowed us to get our first goal partly, but it's also just a generally great move from us. Shanklin naturally plays a 1-2 with Lembikisa in our half and then starts
I love
jogging
that he
back up.
starts this.
Yeah, it's so good. Ends up at Callum Neuenhoff, who we will get to later because I want to have
You've been
my
champing at the
lap
bit.
of honour, basically. Neuenhoff drives for 20 yards and finds Grant, who Grant, Forrest, and Cochrane play a nice one-touch triangle between each other. Cochrane drives into the box and just drills it low into the penalty spot, into the on-rushing from the guy who started the move, Lawrence Shanklin's feet. It's Lawrence Shanklin, so you know he's not going to miss from there. Immediately, 11 minutes in, we're 1-0 up.
This is my favourite goal that we've scored all season.
That's fair. I get that.
Love it. Absolutely love it. It is scintillating. Lawrence Shanklin starts the move on halfway. The 1-2 with Lembikisa, brilliant. See when you've got the likes of Alan Forrest and George Grant giving it one touch and then round the corner for Cochrane, who just bombs on like he does. People queuing up for a pullback in the area, and it's virtually on the penalty spot, cannot miss, in front of the fans. Magic.
That's exactly what I was as well.
Magic.
I was in that corner in the stand that we were. It was great.
Right up the other side from me. And
Yeah.
I was genuinely just looking at him. I was just like, that is beautiful. If I could have recorded it, I probably should have done. And I could watch it back all day. I really could. It was magnificent. I was stood literally right next to a BBC camera operator as well. So, like instances in the second half, your view is probably my view if you're watching it on the
Yeah.
telly at home. But that, oh, loved it. Don't know if it's just because I was there and it was nice to take it in, or
And you're in a ground that you've never been to before, kind of
yeah,
thing.
like the novelty and everything, and just yeah, I do. The run that we're on, like the fact it's under the gaffer and it was a starting start, and now we're just hurrying. Oh, I just loved it. Absolutely loved it. And the perfect view, the perfect start, albeit you mentioned the three Airdrie corners, but we'll look beyond
But
that.
it's fine. Who cares?
And I think for Jambos of a certain vintage, I said it when the tie was made. I think this put a lot of minds at ease
That is
because the
very
longer
fair.
that we left it in search of that first goal, the more doubt starts to creep in, and you just think all it takes is a second for them to go up and score a goal.
Well,
But
they tried
thankfully,
to.
we
They
scored the first, and it was beautiful.
they very much tried to because that was in the 11th minute. In the 13th minute, Airdrie just immediately come forward and a miscued cross goes just past the post
That
from
was a
Aaron
lot
Boyle.
closer than folk
It
thought as well.
was.
Because
It was.
again, I was thinking, oh my God, that's nestling in. And then you just see it sail over Gordon's bar. Oh, thank God for that.
Then,
Because then the doubt that I'd
yeah,
said that had just escaped everybody's minds instantly goes back in, and you think, oh my God, if there's one team that could piss this away, it's going to be us.
it's
But
absolutely.
thankfully, that wasn't the case.
Well, former Hearts man Nikolai Todorov got on the end of a Hancock cross, but Gordon does really well to make a great
Great save.
save. It's a very good save. From the ensuing corner, Hancock crosses it, it gets crossed in, sorry, and Hancock headers it onto the bar, and you're kind of like, okay, starting, but
Wakey,
then
wakey.
exactly. And I think in that moment, so that was the 17th minute. Gordon then takes it short and plays it to Kingsley, who plays it to Cochrane, who plays it to Halkett, and they're just kind of passing it about, taking the sting out of the game. And then Craig Halkett just is standing and just goes, fuck this. As Neil McCann said in Sports Scene, he's like, it's the Super Bowl tonight. I'm just going to play a quarterback-esque Patrick Mahomes throw. And he just plays an unbelievable 65-yard pass over the top of everybody except Kenny Vargas, who's seen it and asked for it, running onto it. who's a touch, admittedly, isn't he amazing,
Thank
right?
you. Yeah.
But he manages to get a form of a shot away. It's saved by Josh Ray in goal, but he just pushes it onto Vargas, who, as he's rolling,
It's
it hits off
unfortunate.
him.
Yeah,
It's very
it's
unfortunate. However, not unfortunate for us. The
no, we
wee
don't
egg
complain.
doubles the lead. We're loving life. What a ball.
Unbelievable. And again, because of where I was in the ground, I was right behind it, and it was just a missile. Beautiful. The pass is excellent. The run, superb. Honest to God, McIver, if that was John Stones playing it, like
Yeah.
everybody down south would be beside themselves. That's maybe why Craig Halkett was in the team,
Yeah.
having criticised the selection. But no, a brilliant ball, and I'm really chuffed for wee Vargas as well. I'm going to learn Spanish as soon as my course is done because I'm just obsessed with that young man. I really like him. I think this probably typifies him in that his speed to get in behind is fantastic. The touch is, with all due respect, criminal,
Yep.
but he doesn't give up on it. He persists. Like I like the wee guy. Like say what you like about him on the ball. I know that he's going to put a shift in,
Mm-hmm.
and he had to work hard for this. He's made a brilliant run. He's fortunate with the finish, but do you know what? Let him just do his little celebration and dance after it. He deserves to. Why not? I was considering copying it in the stands. So you crack on, wee man. I loved it. I love you. Yeah, what a guy. I'm obsessed. I hope we exercise the option and buy him on a permanent.
I mean, he's doing Star Wars Force chokes, and as I've just demonstrated, a Star Wars tattoo has appeared on the YouTube version. So I'm a big fan of it anyway. My dad
And his
made the
name's
point
Kenneth. How can you not be a fan?
exactly, and
He's a Costa
he's
Rican called
Costa
Kenneth.
Rican. It's great. My dad made the point as it happened that he couldn't remember a Hearts centre half making a pass like that until my brother here was like, it reminded him of Sibbick's pass against
Oh,
Aberdeen for Smith in the
great
5-0.
shout. Great
So
shout.
fair
And
play
then
Keir for
Smith coolly
remembering that
converts with the left
immediately.
foot.
But
Yeah, that's a good one.
it's just amazing. And then right, this is the victory lap moment.
Oh God, here we
So
go. I thought you were going to talk more about this goal and like other similar goals for like centre
no, no, no,
passes, just
no, no.
launching it. But
Fuck
somebody
that.
that is so like defense heavy has just neglected all that because you just want to talk about this bloke.
Who
So
cares?
the floor is yours.
Airdrie take kickoff and immediately lose it again. And basically, Callum Neuenhoff wins, speaking about earlier, winning the ball back, Shankland, starting the move, and then finishing it. Neuenhoff wins the ball back and switches it out to Cochrane, who was given the freedom of Airdrie in that first half, especially. He plays it back inside to Grant, who gives it back to Neuenhoff, who did what he did all night, basically, turned and just drove with the ball for about 25 yards, gets to the edge of the box. He's got options. I was obviously on the further side away from him and where Shankland is, and we can all hear Shankland just screaming at him for him to pass it. He sits one defender down, he sits another defender down, and then as he winds his leg up, I just quietly hear my dad go, all right, you better fucking shoot then. And then he does. And from the edge of the box, 22 yards out, much like he did against Dundee, much like he's done, all his goals in his career have come from the edge of the box. Callum Neuenhoff triples the lead. We're cruising at this point. But Callum Neuenhoff turned into Zidane in this game. He was outstanding, the best player in the park by a mile. And as I was saying on Twitter, I stuck my neck out on the line where we did our pre-season predictions and made it very clear that I thought Neuenhoff was going to be signing the season because I saw that one Leeds friendly where I was like, he looks good. And then he took a bit of time to settle. Some people were like, he's the worst player in this team, which is pretty mental. I don't understand where that shout ever came from. But he was having a good game one week, quiet the next week, getting dropped out the team and stuff like that. I don't know what's happened kind of since the turn of the year. If if it's just Naismith's put his trust in him, so that's given him confidence. He's more settled now. But Callum Neuenhoff is slowly becoming one of my favourite players in this team.
I've been dreaming all day about
Oh,
our number 8, Callum Newhoff. Oi, oi, oi! When he's on the ball, he's fucking magical. Callum Newhoff. Oi, oi, oi!
so that's the tune. I didn't know what so he messaged me that, listeners, after the game. Was so quick to do so. And I'll be honest, I had no idea
Intoxicated.
what the fucking I'm
That's a
absolutely
key point
shocked to
here.
hear it. And I didn't care what the tune was. But I liked it. And I like it even more now that we've actually heard the
Great,
song.
mate. I don't know if it's because of the darts mania and the fact that I'm going on Thursday night head to the Hydro to watch it.
He
Yeah,
deserves a song though. He needs
yeah.
a song.
He's been really good recently, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Nice to see a mad goals Gabe as well.
I
That's
know.
nice, nice for Hearts to have a player that will actually like pick it up on the edge of the box and just dare have a go.
Yeah.
He was really good against Airdrie. That's exactly what we want to see. That is the type of central midfield performance that, yeah, I've certainly been craving because whilst it's been Benny and him in front of the back four, my concern has been creativity. Whereas here, I don't think I feel like the vast majority of his passes were actually forward and trying to make things happen as opposed to the usual to Benny or any member of the back four. Really good. Controlled it, bossed it, whatever you want to say. Yeah, just a top performance. He probably typified like Hearts generally in this game, where like it could have been a banana skin. You could have questioned, are they up for it? Again, perhaps the draws played a part in that. I don't know, but again, like this, any doubt that we had heading into this was firmly put to bed inside what 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. You know me, I love when Hearts got off to a fast start, and yes, Airdrie had a couple opportunities. It would be naive to suggest that they didn't. But to essentially have the tie wrapped up with less than half an hour on the clock is, I long for that. Crave it, McIver.
It's very on the hearts, isn't it?
Yes. Which is why I love it so much, I think. I don't know.
That's very
Yes,
fair.
very uncharacteristic. But we were honestly purring. I felt like Derek Adams when he said that Ross County murdered Hearts in the first half. It was very much like we actually are murdering Airdrie here, which
Yeah.
is great to see.
At this point, the next main thing was that Craig Halker had to come off injured, which we spoke about. But to put a positive spin on it, it was really good to see Rolls back.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
very much
chuffed
so.
that he's back in.
I think it's actually a bit of a selection headache now
I know.
because who drops out? It probably is Kingsley, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's been outstanding really this season.
Exactly. So, what happens?
Yeah,
I really hope that we're beyond a three at the back.
I know. I
I
know.
hope that we've moved on from that. You can't drop Kent because he's our best centre half, like I
Yeah.
say. Does Rolls come back in? I don't know.
It's a good headache to have.
Listen, I'm not complaining one bit. I'm
Yeah.
delighted that we've got these problems. But just goes to show how strong it is if a guy that starts for Australia at centre half can't break back into this team. We're actually looking really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Neuenhoff again skips away from his defender and plays a ball into the box that's met on the volley by Alan Forrest. However, it's saved by Josh Ray.
I actually thought it was a really good save.
It is a good save.
I thought that when Forrest is there, it looks like the right back comes over to basically block his line of sight. I think it's a really good stop, and Forrest was really unlucky.
Yeah. There was flies in the Airdrie ointment, though. It wasn't just all plain sailing because Airdrie did get a goal back. They continued to work the ball down the left-hand side as they had been all day, pretty much, whenever they had the ball. Hancock, who was central to everything positive that they did, swings a ball in that is met by the smallest man on the park, Adam Frizzell, who heads it past Craig Gordon. We're actually just speaking about Kingsley. He's quite poor for this. Lembekiza doesn't stop the cross. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Hart, though, was saying that Lembikisa is a right laugh, and I really like him, but I'm terrified to see him play against the old firm.
Yeah, as much as I think he's an upgrade on Atkinson, is it only offensively that we've seen that?
Yeah, I don't
Maybe,
actually think he's an upgrade on Atkinson defensively.
which is worrying.
Yeah.
But because yeah, I don't,
Well, maybe
I'm
no,
not.
because he's only going to be here for the last few months, and we've got third, so fuck it.
Yeah, it's more for the latter stages of this competition.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah.
Um, but no, yeah, I do agree with you. Maybe this is just Kingsley's. Maybe the curtain's coming down on Kingsley's staying in the team now, as we've
Because
said
of this
this.
one goal.
I actually think it's a really good header,
It is. It's a good goal.
because considering where he is,
Yeah.
like his position in the box, to get it across Craig Gordon in that bottom corner, I just think it's a phenomenal header. And yeah, they rocked the boat a little
Yeah,
bit,
they did. Definitely.
but saw it out.
My dad made the joke that at this point, Xander Clark would be turning to Naismith going, listen, I ken they all want him, but that's 2 games, no clean sheets. So, like, I need to be coming in with my 11 clean sheets or whatever it is.
But again, it depends how you look at it, because the two goals that he's conceded in the Scottish Cup have both been really good.
Really good goals.
The James Craig one is an absolute worldie, and this is a decent header from Adam Frizzell. So it's not like it's been like he's dropped the ball and the strikers just poked it
Yeah.
in. These are actually like decent efforts.
Yeah, very true.
Um, but uh, it's the cynical mind of the footballer, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if Xander Clark did just like annoy the gaffer with that.
Just
I
look at
would.
Nate, make eye contact with Nazy and just raise his eyebrows, kind of be like, oh, well,
I
all right.
I better be back in from Motherwell.
Yeah, exactly. Shankland has an effort that is skied well over the bar, almost out the ground. That was a laugh.
Sorry, why are the Airdrie fans jeering that?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't get it.
I
Like I
don't
really
know.
don't. I've watched it back countless times and I think like I don't blame like it would have been a ridiculous goal. I don't blame him for necessarily taking the shot on, but why are you jeering that? I just don't know.
And then the last action in the first half, Neuenhoff and Forrest link up well again. Forrest gets into the box, but his effort is tipped over the bar this time by Ryan goals. That takes us to half time. It's 3-1. We're loving life, basically.
Yeah, despite conceding one, looked in total control for the vast majority of it, and were playing some really, really nice stuff, like I say. So yeah, I don't know if it was to our detriment, like simultaneously that we just raced into that. But like,
Yeah.
you know how tough it is when teams will race into an early lead and they sort of kill the game dead. You then think, well, that's it, really. Like this is as good as done. Anything else is just an added bonus. I very much felt like that as soon as they pull one back, bizarrely. Not
Hmm.
not when we were 3-0 up, but when they pull one back, it was like, all right, I can't really see them getting a second or third here, so this is as good as done. Do,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It was very funny in that sense. I probably felt more calm after they'd scored because like it was like a gentle reminder or like a wee wake up call. But I knew it was done. You knew it was done. We all knew it was done. Really, it was just a case of maybe introducing a couple new bodies and giving players game time that might not necessarily get it too often, and yeah, just giving people a chance, ultimately seeing what they can do to try and secure a place in the team and displace those that have been performing really well out of the team.
Definitely. And as a result, the second half, there isn't a whole lot to talk about. Lembikisa hits a decent range effort from range, which is just punched away by
I was
Ray.
unlucky.
Tagawa does well. He win the ball back in the middle of the park. It then plays about by Neuenhoff, Grant, Lembikisa, who plays it through to Shankland, who does well to hold off the defender. Back heels it to Alan Forrest, but it's hit over the bar and then pretty
Yeah,
goal.
sorry.
Continue.
No, I was going to say you could talk about Tagawa.
Yeah, I, I thought it was a
I
game where in the industrious side I actually saw more from him than I've seen before. He was getting about and as like this, winning the ball.
mhm.
Offensively
it,
again,
it was
like
on ball, wasn't it? It
yeah.
just it's
Again,
not it's not
it,
coming
it was
off.
his birthday. It was his birthday, so fair play to him. Um, I do appreciate someone. I apologize if you're listening. I can't remember who it was, but someone said on Twitter that it was like it must be hard for him where the team's absolutely flying. Pretty much everyone else who's coming in is playing well, and you maybe play once every 5 or 6 games for like 20 minutes. Strikers are often players who play on confidence. You can't really get confidence if you're getting 20 minutes every 6 games. So I'm nowhere near writing him off or anything. I'm just like, I'm going to be interested to see what he because listen, I'm interested to see what this whole team does in the summer when we lose Shankland. Like it's going to be really interesting. And obviously
Say if, McIver, don't say when.
that doesn't I'm sorry, but it's the reality of the situation, all right? We will obviously recruit in that area, but I'm not gonna write Tago off. I don't think he did much offensively, but even that, he won the ball back, which oftentimes he's not done even that.
I was discussing this with one of the boys that I obviously volunteer at the junior club at. And he's a defender. He was talking about coming on as a defender. I said that must be horrible. I would assume that coming on as a striker, unless you're seeing out a game and you're a big target man to kind of hold off defenders, I don't think you've really got anything to lose as an offensive player coming on. Because ultimately, you basically are trying to either become the hero or give the manager a selection headache.
That is true,
He
right?
didn't really do either.
But that's true on an individual level. I think that's hard to do when the rest of the team around you is going, we've got this one. So I'm not going to play
I
any.
know, like, players obviously drop their level significantly
Yeah,
knowing that it's in the bag. But I don't know. I think he would view it as an opportunity of like, I could maybe get a goal or two here and maybe prove to the manager that I'm in contention to be brought on more frequently or even start. God forbid if anything happened to the main man. I would be ready to come on
but
in and
the thing is, though, he didn't
I don't
come
know.
on for him. I thought the substitution
Yeah,
was
for
weird.
Vargas is weird.
Yeah, unless Vargas is hurt and we've just not been
That's what I was going to
told.
say. Did he pick up a knock?
I don't
I
know
was too busy
because,
queuing for my two pies to notice, I'll be
well,
honest.
no, like in the game, he definitely didn't.
Because I got my phone out. The tannoy was terrible. I was like,
Astana was awful.
who's he come on for? And then I see that it was for Vargas. I was like, right, okay, that's a bit of a weird one. I then thought that Forrest might occupy a central area and just let Shanklin and Tagoa play up. But yeah, he's not a winger. I mean, I
Nah,
thought he did all right in that area.
yeah, yeah, I kind of,
Was
he did
was
exactly what I
trying to make things happen,
expected.
and
Yeah,
I don't know, like he sort of hustles and bustles, doesn't he, Tagoa a
yeah,
wee bit? But I don't know. It just it's such a curious case
yeah,
because like we've spent decent money. He's arrived with a decent pedigree. He's signed a 4-year deal,
yeah,
and we've not really seen anything from him yet. Which is as much as our recruitment's been good with the likes of Lembakisa, only just now Neuenhoff. For every Lembakisa and a Neuenhoff, there's a Tago and a Grant.
yeah.
I just
I
think
think,
it's
I think it's kind of hard to do, especially because, well, maybe the league is probably sewn up, so maybe you give Tago a bit. But Shanklin's then speaking about like, I want to hit 30, I want to be doing all these things.
he's as determined as can be.
Exactly. So I would be interested in this hypothetical world to see Tagawa with like a 5 game run as the
The split,
striker.
say,
Yeah, exactly. Where it's just like, all right, okay, here's a few games where you're just, even if it's just coming on at half time, again, I still know that's an issue, but I, I'm not going to judge him until I see him have a proper run,
yeah.
which is, I think,
Listen, I don't want to come across too harsh or nothing.
oh no,
I
not you.
just
I
felt
think a
like
lot of other people are, though. A lot of people are just being like, right, that's it, he's shit.
I don't know. I just felt like this would have been perfect for him
Yeah,
because
that's
like
fair.
you've just like surely your contribution can only be a positive one given the commanding position that we're in. I don't know. Like there's no real tempo to it because it's done. So it's a lot more lax. You can just not chill per se, but certainly nobody's expecting you to come on and just I don't know grab a hat trick or whatever, but a contribution would have been nice. I don't know, just it left me a wee bit underwhelmed.
That's fair. And in fairness, when you're comparing him to this guy, everybody feels
Oh my
underwhelming
God,
because
he's just a disgrace.
if it wasn't already, the game is put out of sight in the 73rd minute as Scott Fraser, who came on with Macaulay Tate, who, by the way, he's not mentioned in the highlights, so I'll say it now. I just made a point because I knew the game was done. I made a point of tracking every single time Macaulay Tate passed the ball out of however many, I think it was about 45, he misplaced one pass.
Baller.
Love you, Macaulay Tate.
Serious baller. Great news as well for him signing that contract extension
Amazing.
before we go on. I
Great
don't
to
know how
see.
don't know how the hell we've done that, but
Nah.
fair play whoever's done that, because that's a sensational piece of business. It really intrigued to see what he does next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the guy who came on with him, Scott Fraser, gets his first contribution in a Heart shirt as he plays through Shankland, who dinks the keeper to make it 4-1. The funny thing about this, obviously, we've given him quite a lot of praise in this episode for his team, Reece McCabe and stuff like that. Hilariously, Reece McCabe is playing Shankland on about 5 yards, and Reece McCabe is the only Airdrie player asking for offside, despite him being the reason that Shankland is a mile and a half onside. Great finish. He's now on to 24 for the season.
How mental is that you
It's
say that about a Hearts
insane.
centre forward?
And we're in February.
But like, how mental is it? Full stop.
Yeah.
You to be saying this at any part of the season, like I've ran out of superlatives, McIver. I love the guy. I honestly have. He's the striker that we've needed for our entire lives. And you think it's a case of when and not if. There's a small part of me just that will be shattered once once what you believe will happen.
Yeah.
So let's just go to this Rio Ferdinand clip. Just enjoy him, man. Enjoy him while he's here. Because this finish, like,
It's ridiculous.
There's so much that he could do with it. He could drag it to the keeper's near post. He could just open it up and sort of coolly caress it into the bottom corner. He could blast it. But the audacity, like that is it's a man in form.
Yeah.
Even the ball that is behind the goal that he then just back heels off in his celebration. What is it like? That is just smooth operator. Yeah. What a guy.
So
I love him so much.
That was the end of the game. The only other highlight is Neuenhoff again spins in midfield, plays through Alan Forrest, whose effort just goes past the post. However, 4-1, a potential banana skin ended up being an incredibly comfortable game, which hopefully we will take this confidence from this ridiculous run that we're currently on to the weekend, where Stuart Kettlewell's Motherwell arrives in Gorgate on the back of interesting league form. So I checked it there. They're actually unbeaten in the last 5 games in the league. However, only 2 of them are wins. 3 of them are draws, and 1 of them was an absolute mauling of Ross County. And the other one...
They didn't look like a team on Friday night that had just beaten Ross County 5-0.
I was just about to say, I totally forgot. Oh, wait, yeah, the last game was Morton. However, they are, as this podcast goes out, they are playing Aberdeen and Pittodrie. Yes. So anything could happen. But in the league, of their 5 unbeaten, 3 of them are draws, and the 2 wins are against the bottom 2, both at home. So, considering our form, we are the most informed team in the country. We have every reason to be confident, every reason to expect a win. Do you feel that will be the case?
3-0 Hearts.
Clean sheet again.
So that answers your question.
So Xander Clark is racking up those clean sheets again.
Just racking them up. Although, feed the bear and he will score.
Well, he's now suddenly decent.
Yeah. One of the more bizarre summer acquisitions of the Scottish transfer window has actually proved out to be a decent player.
Yeah.
Is my man Halliday ineligible for this one? I'm assuming
I saw some people speaking about that. I don't think he's eligible. I think he will be missing the game.
so that's a bonus. They got what they deserved on Friday for dropping him. Yeah, that was the only change as well. Lennon Miller coming in. Yes, I'm feeling very confident. Even the fact that obviously we did lose to them at Tynecastle earlier on in the season, but their goal scorer that day, Callum Slattery's out and has been
Yeah.
for a wee while.
They're a different
Absolutely,
Motherwell
yeah,
than that arrived
absolutely no
last time in
reason
Tynecastle.
why we can't comprehensively beat Motherwell. Even the 2-1 at Fir Park, like their goal arguably couldn't and shouldn't have stood that day. So I thought we were really good through there. So let's have a really good performance at home. And yeah, just keep marching on. That's what it's all about.
So you're
3
going
points,
3-0.
just racking them up, racking up the points, racking up the clean sheets, feeling really confident. So come back to me next week. And it's been an absolute horror show.
When
What
it
are you
is
thinking?
3-0 to Motherwell, and it's just an absolute nightmare.
Theo Bears at a hat trick.
Exactly, yeah. Is Abika still there?
Yes,
Aye,
he came off the bench Friday night. Yeah, he's
Abika
just
will
back from
score.
injury, so just back in time for
Just in
us, of
time.
course.
That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go 3-1 us, but Abika scores. Because it's the most
Who
predictable
are you
thing.
saying for scorers for us?
I am saying Lawrence Shankland, Callum Neuenhoff, edge of the box, and first goal scorer, Alex Cochrane. I wanted him to shoot so fucking badly when he
When he got on the
passed
left-hand
it. I was
side.
like, go just shoot, mate. I'm in
Did you
front of
have
you.
dough on it? Yeah.
Yes.
How much?
Just my usual £2.
Couple of quid. What price was he?
40-1.
40 to 1 first goal.
That's what he is most weeks, aye.
I'd be devastated that you're not shot.
It used to be like 8-81. When my first couple of bets came up and I was sticking £2 on, he was 8-81, and then the bets were like, oh no, wait, he's an
That's
attacking
mad.
fullback that gets into the box. Hold on, let's
Aye,
slash these odds.
you don't see a poor bookie, exactly. They'll latch
Exactly.
on to it eventually. I'm going to go for a Shanklin brace, and I'm going to go Wee Vargas again
Great.
if he starts.
Love to see it. By the way, congratulations to Cochrane, who this week announced he's going to be a dad. And
Very much so. Yeah,
everybody
congratulations to him and his
took
partner.
from the fact that he announced it in a Hearts top, everyone's like, so he's staying? Yes. Whereas I went, no, that probably means he wants to be down closer to family. There's a higher chance he's leaving. But
Don't do this to yourself, mate.
know.
Don't just. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
yeah, exactly.
Rio, just enjoy him, man.
He'll be leaving with a Scottish Cup winner's medal. It's fine. It doesn't
Nice.
matter.
Nice. I like it.
Right. We end as ever with the quiz. Now, I haven't actually even told you
Goodness.
this. The reason I was ever so slightly late to recording because
Oh,
I forgot
God.
I had to do the quiz. So this quiz finished 90 seconds before we joined this call. So this could be an
Jesus.
absolute shambles. But
Okay.
as ever,
Well,
we've
that's
got
great.
multiple choice, 2 normal ones, true or false, and who am I? So, first question.
Right. Hit me with it.
Hearts scored 4 goals against Airdrie away from home. But when was the last time Hearts scored at least 4 goals away from home in a competitive game?
Jesus.
We've done it loads in friendlies. But when's the last time? And again, if this is incorrect, Hearts stats or somebody, I was doing this very last minute, so I apologise.
I'm going to guess Auchinleck Talbot.
Correct.
Nice.
Very well done. Yes, Auchinleck
I
Talbot.
couldn't think of any others, so I just went with the first one that popped in my head.
And
Nice,
then
good start.
the last league game where we did it, could you get that as well? I just had this as like a because in case you were going to go, I've got the league one, but I don't have the general one.
The last league game be under Levine at Hamilton Accies. That's the only one I could think of.
In the top flight,
four or more.
In the top flight, you're correct, but we beat
Rovers
Wraith
on the final day. Yeah,
4-0.
championship.
Yes,
Yeah.
when
Beat them twice
GMS was
4-0,
running
didn't we?
wild. Yeah, literally back to back 4-0 wins. So 1 from 1.
Not bad. Decent
Not
bit of
bad
knowledge,
at all.
that.
So Hearts have become known in recent weeks as a second half team, but true or false? In all but one league game in 2024, Hearts have scored a goal between the 53rd and 57th minute. So not the season, just the league games that we've had.
In
So
all but one.
in all but one.
That's very specific.
In between the 53rd and 57th minute.
But could I be falling into the Owen Beck trap?
What's
Remember
the
when
Owen?
I
Yeah,
said
yeah.
about Ian,
I was like,
could
yeah.
could it be too obvious that it's not?
I see.
Does that
I
make
see.
sense?
Yes, I did. I do see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm gonna go true.
I've kind of done you here. It's false
Oh, brilliant.
because it's in every game in 2024.
Oh, oh, that's stinking.
So I've got them all as well. Livingston, Kenny Vargas scored in the 54th minute. Dundee, Cal Neuenhoff scored in the 57th minute. Aberdeen, George Grant scored a penalty in the 56th minute.
Hold on a
Dun
second. What was the question? Did you not say till the 55th minute?
no, 53rd to 57th.
All right. Carry on.
I
Sorry.
panicked there. I was like, shit, say it wrong. Dundee again, away from home. Alan Forrest scores in the 55th minute. And finally, St Johnstone, Shanklin scores in the 57th minute.
Just love that opening quarter hour.
That 4 minute period we're obsessed with. But yeah, shout out to my former manager Tash, who excitedly messaged me going, I've got a question for the quiz. And
Oh,
she was
big up
like,
you, Tash. Love it.
yes. So, 1 for 2, and it was kind of a bullshit reason not to
Hey,
get the second.
that's fine. Technicalities. They've outdone me in this quiz ever since
Yeah,
I
they
introduced
have.
it, so that's fine.
Question 3 is your multiple choice.
Oh, Jesus.
Much has been made of how strong our defensive line has been this season, but how much better is our goal difference this season compared to last after 25 league games? Are we 1 goal better off? Are we 2 goals better off? Are we 3 goals better off? Or are we 4 goals better off? So we're better off. We've got a better defensive record.
This is
Unfortunately,
just a total stab in the dark.
I tried to find out the actual number of goals we've conceded. I have it for this season, but I couldn't get a league table at the time
Yeah,
to show
it's
me.
tough, like, because you need to know like the fixture to
Because
then try and
I
get the
know,
BBC article, and then you get the
yeah,
as it stood and all
and
that
that doesn't
stuff.
show, that shows
Yeah,
goal
it's only
difference, but it doesn't
points
show
and yeah,
goals scored and against. So unfortunately, I've only got the goal difference.
and you can't be arsed tallying it all up when you make it 90
Yeah,
seconds before we come on air.
exactly. If I had hours, I would have been like, right, I'll get through this. Hold on.
Total stab in the dark. Let's go for. I was going to say 2, but I'll say 3.
The answer is 1.
Just the one,
Just
really?
the one. Currently, our goal difference is plus 11. This time last season, it was plus 10.
Wow. Okay.
However, we'd scored less, I think, and conceded more by this point. We're doing better in all aspects this season, not just goal difference. So, final question. Hearts have won the last 2 games against Airdrie in our lifetime, with this past weekend being one, and the 5-0 that you referenced last week being the second.
Yeah.
But what was the score in the first game between the two sides in our lifetime?
Oh my God.
Now, I know this
Question.
because I was at it and I remember it. It was at Tynecastle.
Thanks. Thanks
Even I'll even give you the year if you want.
02?
August 2008.
2008.
Yep.
Jesus. At Tynecastle. Oh, I don't know. 3-0.
The game finished 0-0 and we lost on penalties 4-3.
Let's move on. It's
Yep,
been an
exactly.
absolutely shocking quiz. Nearly as shocking as the fact that we couldn't beat Airdrie in 2008.
Exactly. So,
What was that in League Cup?
yeah, August
Of course it
2008.
was. Of
That was a
course it was in the
birthday.
League Cup.
That was a birthday present for me. I mean, to see us get beat by fucking Airdrie. Love that.
What was that?
So,
08, 09 then? Jesus.
yeah.
Who was the gaffer then? Shabba?
Jabba.
No.
David Obua missed a penalty. Karapidis missed a penalty. Lovely.
Henry
Lovely
scored.
stuff. I can't mind who scored. I just remember doing this. So, the Who Am I?
That was horrific.
That
After
was
such a
awful.
sublime start, that was so
You were
awful.
like,
I
we're
did the polar
flying.
opposite as to what Hearts did at the weekend.
And the polar opposite is what I did last week. I got the first question wrong, then the other three right. You got the first question right, and then the other three
Yeah,
wrong.
thanks, mate. Next question.
Can you pull it back with the Who Am I? I'm
No.
suddenly panicking that we've done this before, and I actually mean this. I actually think we have done this before.
Oh
So
God.
this could be a laugh, but don't let that influence. Again, we might not have, and I'm just
Right, okay.
panicking. So
Okay.
I exclusively played in Scotland professionally, but did play elsewhere at a non-professional level. I made my
Okay.
debut for Hearts in a Scottish Cup tie. On my league debut, I scored. I was at Hearts for several years, but loan spells and injury limited my appearances. Who am I? That look was incredible. You looked like you wanted the ground to open up and swallow you.
Can you repeat the clues, please?
Yes, of course I can. I exclusively played in Scotland professionally, but did play elsewhere at a non-professional level. I made my debut for Hearts in a Scottish Cup tie. On my league debut, I then scored, and I was at Hearts for several years, but loan spells and vast time spent out with injury limited my appearances.
I'm just gonna do what we always do. And what years did they play for Hearts?
They played for Hearts between 2005 and 2011.
Jesus. I could have sworn that you said on the last episode that you were going to have a Who Am I within the last 7 years.
Yeah, I did. I forgot. I remembered
That's
that
fine.
halfway
No, that's
through.
fine.
My phone.
This is exactly what I'm competing with. Honest to God. 2005 to 2011. Ah, no worries, mate.
These were your most informative years as a Hearts fan.
Bollocks. 2005 to 2011. Jesus Christ. And you played exclusively in Scotland at a professional level.
Yep.
Went down south. Well, no, you didn't say that. But I get the impression that I've got Callum Elliott in my head for some reason, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
I I just asked for a list of clubs. I think I do. Because nothing else is popping out at me. Yeah, let's go for the list of clubs, please, McIver, in order, if you don't mind.
So Heart of Midlothian between 2005 to 11. And
Right,
because I've made this hard, I'll even give you this. Every other club in Scotland is on loan.
right,
So he's
okay,
at Hearts, but I'm going to name all these clubs, but his parent club is Hearts during all
okay.
this. Livingston, Queen of the South, Dunfermline, Wraith, Blyth Spartans.
Blythe Spartans. He left Hearts to sign for Blythe Spartans.
Yep.
Jesus H. Now I have no idea who it is.
I think, and I'll even give you this as well. Hold on. Yeah, he left us on a he left us as a free agent and signed for Blythe when they were part of the Conference North.
Jesus, what? No, like nobody is popping out here at
I'll
all.
even give you this as an extra clue. You definitely know this person. This is not a Fitzroy. This is not Steve Simmons. This is not one of them. This is some you know him.
2005, 2011. Who did you say the loan clubs were? Livingston, Dunfermline, Queen of the
Livingston,
South.
Queen of the South, Dunfermline, Wraith.
Dunfermline, Wraith. And nobody after Blythe Spartans, no.
No, not according to Wikipedia.
Because Callum Elliott played for that mouse hole or whatever it was, and Laurie was absolutely wetting himself on scars around the funnel, and I couldn't stop laughing either. Oh, Jesus wept. Blythe Spartans, man. Nobody's got
Fuck
it in
it.
my
I'll even
head.
give you this. The reason he signed for Blythe Spartans is because he went back home.
From Northumberland. Oh, Jesus God.
I can't give you any more clues because,
No,
well, I could give you one, but it would spoil the thing.
I appreciate it. I Where was Jamie Mole from? Let's go for Jamie Mole.
He's done it! It's
Is that
Jamie
actually?
Mole! It's Jamie Mole! Well done.
Jesus, that was random.
The
God
clue
almighty.
I was going to give you was he started a game that was very historic because obviously he started away at AK Athens in the
Yeah.
Champions League.
Oh my God. I have no idea where that came from. We've not done Jamie Mole, I don't think.
I don't think we have, but I
I don't
suddenly
think so.
panicked there. So yeah, 42
God
appearances
almighty.
across 6 years. How many goals Jenky got in those 6 years? Well, 42 games.
42 games. 5.
4.
Oh!
So yeah, so
He scored more for his loan clubs than he did Hearts.
yes, by a mile.
Doesn't surprise me.
So he made his debut for Hearts in the Scottish Cup tie, and he actually played against Livingston in the run-up to the 05-06 Cup win.
Bloody hell.
He then made his debut. He scored against Inverness at Tynecastle in a 4-1 win. So it was like 4-1. Hey, 2006.
Nice. Nice, like it.
And then, yeah, he was at Hearts for several years, but he was loaned out for several times and he just kept getting hurt. Then he spent the remainder of the 2010-11 season at us, but just never played. He just never made an appearance.
I was trying to think who would leave around that time.
Yeah.
Who did Kevin Kyle displace?
Yes,
ultimately as Hearts
exactly.
centre forward.
Exactly. So we then announced in May 2011 that Mo wasn't going to be given a new contract. He then had trials at Hamilton and Gillingham. Then started training.
Bizarre duo of clubs.
I know. Started training with Wraith, and then signed for Blythe.
Jesus.
Like big Dan Burn, and he was playing with Dan Burn.
It wasn't actually, was he?
I think so. Dan Burn played for Blythe Spartans around that time.
No way.
Let's see when Dan Burn
I'll be
played
honest,
for Blythe
McIver, I don't give a shit about the rest of the quiz. The fact that I've just randomly plucked that from thin air, I am more than happy with
Oh, Dan Burn left Blythe Spartans in 2010. Mole
that.
signed
Oh, no
in
way.
October 2011.
Oh, man. What a
However,
downgrade.
he played against Dan Burn because Dan Burn moved to Darlington, which was in the National League North, so he would have played against them.
That's
But yeah, it
mental.
says that Jamie Mole hasn't, like, that was my fucking. I had a sudden shock when I was like, when was Jamie Mole at Brighton? But I'm on Dan Burn's new Wikipedia page. It says that he hasn't played, so he left Blythe in 2012. So when he was 25, he just stopped playing football.
That can't be right.
Because he's 35 now.
Oh, don't. I watched Up in Goal the other week there, and David Templeton was on. And I was thinking to myself, I fucking loved Temps when I was growing up or whatever. Then he said that he was 35. I then messaged my dad. I was like, Dad, I feel ancient. David Templeton is 35. He was like, it's worse when you like players are however much younger than you. I'm just like, oh no, this is horrible. I'm getting old, man.
But yeah, it says on Transfermarkt, it says his last season was the 11-20. He said,
I wonder where he is. If anybody's got any links to Jamie Mole, do feel free to message the podcast and we'll get him on.
This is an incredible stat.
Go
He
on.
played one game for Blythe Spartans between 2011 and 2012, and it was a 90 minutes in the FA Cup.
What the hell? Against who?
I'm trying to find out. Gateshead, they got beat 2-0.
What the
It's a
hell?
derby as well.
That's so random.
So yeah, well done. You got the first and last questions right.
Thanks.
That's
The
what's
three in
important.
between were absolutely woeful.
Yeah.
But yeah, we take it, we move.
Well, let us know if you did get Jamie Mole as well. And let us know if you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It massively helps us out. If you've been watching us on YouTube, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We are Perth to Paisley on all forms of social media, perthtopaisley@gmail.com. If you want to fire us over an email, Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me watching the highlights of AEK Athens away at Adam T. Kendall. What about yourself, mate?
At DMcIver22. We'll be back next week to discuss all the fallout from the Motherwell game and any other part that happens between now and then. If Cammy Devlin just gets hurt again when he's training to come back, anything else that happens. But until then, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Come on the Hearts! Hearts!